Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today I decided to dig out my alcohol inks and then share with you some of the panels that I've created, or at least some of the papers here that I made. We're gonna make a few together. I have seen so many beautiful cards on Instagram made with alcohol inks, and I did purchase 2 sets of these, gosh, definitely a few years ago, and I never got around to using them. So, have you ever done that? Have you ever bought craft supplies and then you're like, yes, I'm going to use these. And then you get them home and they sit in your shelf and you never touch them? Am I the only one that does that? I'm really trying to be good. Like, I've kind of got myself reined in where there are certain things I can't buy anymore until I use other certain things. So, my paper, my 6x6 pattern paper, that is one of those things. Anyway, I am getting off track. So, one of the sets I bought was this one here. It has citrus, sailboat blue, and watermelon. And this one has currant, meadow, and slate. Now, when I purchased these, it was more towards fall time, so I was thinking these were going to be great colors for fall winter cards, which they are. But this is March, and we are looking more towards spring and summer. But hey, let's use what I have and see what we can come up with. When I purchased these, I also picked up this glossy finish paper using by Adirondack, I think put out by Ranger. This was on clearance, so I did get this pack for $2.99. So I dug that out along with these. In my experimentation today, I have discovered that these colors lay best when there is a layer of rubbing alcohol on it. And I'm just using this right here, probably picked up from the dollar store, somewhere like that. It's not very expensive. I'm sure that Ranger has some sort of product that does something similar. I just have the rubbing alcohol today, so that is what we are going to use. So what I've done is find best for this paper is to rub a little layer of the alcohol on here, make the paper a little bit wet, it allows the ink to just kind of spread. I also found that my paper is going to, start moving in a hill-like shape. That doesn't bother me. So here we're going to start off with some of this citrus green. We're just going to add some random dots everywhere. I also found today that I don't necessarily always like everything while it's wet, but when it's dried, I'm definitely taking a liking to it. So I'm using the sailboat blue to finish that off, and I think I'm just going to use just the 2 colors on this one. And I'm just going to let those kind of do their thing for a moment, and you can see here it's kind of bowing up, and then my ink's going to run to the side, as you can see here. That doesn't bother me. I'm going to cut this panel down. If that bothers you, or just you can see like it's running down the hill, so to speak. I'm not sure if that's a proper term, but if you don't like that, you definitely would want to tape this down to like a board or something. Also, these inks stain, so you're going to want to make sure that you're working on your craft mat. And I have my craft mat here, but I also am putting a piece of paper on, because even though my craft mat is to protect my desk, I don't want this all stained up either. I'd rather, waste a piece of cardstock, but that's just me. So I'm just going to give this another moment or two And then I'm going to move it over to dry. Okay. So I'm just going to pick it up here. And I got a piece of scrap paper on the side over there. And I'm going to let that dry. These don't take very long to dry. This paper also has a matte finish and a glossy finish. There, I think you can tell. There's this is the glossy side. I do prefer the glossy side, and I will show you why. I'll go through and I'll show you what I did make today, and I'll show you why I prefer this side. I don't know if you are supposed to use the matte side, but I thought I would try it. So again, I'm just going to lay down. I'm kind of being heavy-handed on it because I want to just see what would happen if I, if it's kind of pooled up there. So let's use our darker colors. This one is slate. I'm just going to drop some droplets down. Definitely having more rubbing alcohol is definitely giving it a different effect than using less. So let's use some green here. That looks like a pair of eyes looking up at me. Or maybe even here. I wonder if I'll keep it because it'll kind of creepy. Maybe this will make a good Halloween card. There's two little air bubbles there. I don't know if I want to add any red to this. A little too late. Okay. This definitely looks a little messy. All right, so I'm going to let that do its thing there for a minute. And while I'm waiting for that, let me explain to you why I didn't like the matte side and why I don't even know if that was a side you're supposed to use. But this is the matte side, and I dripped all these little dots on it. And you see, like, it did get absorbed into the paper, but it didn't really spread out. But when I turned it over, I saw the glossy side. I kind of liked that. It's a little interesting. And if you're doing your droplets on the glossy side, like here's when I did just using the two different reds. And I did the droplets on the glossy side, and this is still a tiny bit wet. But look at the back. Nothing. Not like this one. Not like this is the, this is the matte side here, and this is the glossy side. Then it bled over to see that, which is why I think maybe the matte side is just, you're not just to use, like that's not intended for this use. All right, so let's put this one aside and let that one dry. And let's do one more together. What should we do? I'm going to just splat some dots on here. Let's see what this does. Like, instead of coating the whole thing. Now, you should do this in a well-ventilated area, because it does have, not super strong, but it definitely has an odor. Okay, so let's take our Sailboat Blue because of all my colors I have, this is my favorite, and I think it would also make the most sense. I think I'm just going to do this one blue, like, and then leave some of the white. Sorry, I hit the camera there. Oops. I think I'm just going to let that do that. Let that hang out for a minute. While it's hanging out, I'm going to show you this one. This is another blue one I did. This blue one, I did the drops without putting the alcohol on the paper first. And they just kind of sat there, and then I decided to take the paintbrush and dip it into the rubbing alcohol and then try to rub it all over this. And it didn't exactly do what I wanted it to do. You can see it's kind of blotchy, but I'm liking it, but it's not the effect I was looking for. I was kind of looking for like some swirls, and this was not the way to get the swirls. Maybe I didn't have enough ink. Maybe I didn't use enough rubbing alcohol on my paintbrush, but this attempt did not go as planned. This one here I made using the citrus, the sailboat blue, and the watermelon. I just used all of those colors together. This one I also did not put the rubbing alcohol down first. So you'll see there's more circular patterns as compared to maybe some of the others. This one I added a lot of the rubbing alcohol, and then I laid down those same colors, the citrus, the sailboat blue, and the watermelon. So this is how our panel came out. I really like that. Got some blue here. Let's just take that off. Okay, I'm going to put that over to dry. And this is just the two different greens that I had. I really liked that. I think this will kind of go well with the dragon stamps that I have. It kind of looks like colors a dragon would probably be. This one here I made just using the red and blue. And that's still a little wet. And we've got this one here. This one here I went through and I put the rubbing alcohol all over it, and then I added my droplets, and then I went back in and very heavy-handedly like tapped all these little spots with the rubbing alcohol. So the rubbing alcohol kind of goes in and then like kind of bleaches the area out a little bit. I like the effect, but maybe just not with these colors, or maybe I just don't like the way this one came out. It's not my favorite panel I've made. But anyway, those are the panels I made today. I'm just learning about the how to use the alcohol inks. If you are interested to see the cards I make with these panels, definitely check out my Instagram, also my Facebook. I'll post pictures in those two places. My Instagram, I'm definitely on a lot more, and you'll see things there first. But I also will make a video showing what I made with these panels at a later date. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. But until next time, bye.